sleep at night, making myself crazy. Out of my mind, out of my mind. Wrote it down and read it out, hoping it would save me. Too many times. My love, he makes me feel like nobody else. Nobody else. But my love, he doesn't love me, so I tell myself. One, don't pick up the phone. You know he's only calling cause he's drunk and alone. Two, don't let him in. You have to kick him out again. Three, don't be his friend. You know you're gonna wake up in his bed in the morning. And if you're under him, you ain't getting over him. I got no rules, I count him.
Hello, hello. Hey guys, whoever has the seat, please take it now because we're gonna remove the stuff and put people on those seats. So if you grabbed one, please sit because we're about to start. Thank you.
Now I'm standing back from it. I finally see the pattern. I never loved. But my love, he doesn't love me, so I tell myself.
Can you guys hear me? Come on, you can do better than that. Can you hear me? Yeah! Welcome everybody to Casa Biden. Hi, buddy. This is Weston, my son. Hi, everybody. If I haven't met you already, I am Angelique Mathena. I am the volunteer coordinator here at Casa Biden. Thank you. And where are my Latinas at today? Let's hear it. I know you can do better than that. Let's hear it. Tampeños, where are we at? We're so excited that everybody could come and join us today. I know it's a hot one, but we love using this great space that we have here so we can all be safe and distant. So I just want to remind everybody, please keep on your masks, please keep your distance, and we appreciate how everybody is respecting each other's space. We're all here for one goal, to elect Biden and Harris as our next president and vice president. I don't have to tell all of you here why this is so important. Our democracy depends on this. We are suffering from coronavirus, from racism, from so many things, from the economy. Everyone here has been touched by so many of the awful things that Trump has done that are affecting our lives. I am so appreciative of all of the volunteers who have been coming in day after day, sweating it out in this heat, staying safe, and getting out the word to vote. Vote now, vote early, vote Biden, vote blue, all the way down. For those of you who have been out at the polls, can I get a woo from those of you who've been out there working? That is hard work. You guys are doing a great job. I know we're tired, but the work is not done yet. We've got 9 big days left before Election Day starts, and early voting ends on the Sunday, November 1st. So please, thank you. Keep working, keep pushing. We're almost there, and I can't wait to celebrate on November 3rd when Biden and Harris are elected the next president and vice president of the United States. The next person I want to introduce to you is Jacqueline. She is a first-time voter. I know we can all remember that first time we got to vote. She is a first-year student at NYU, Abu Dhabi, and she grew up here in Tampa. So I'm going to welcome her to the stage, and y'all give her a big ol' Casa Biden, vamos!
Thank you all so much for having me here and for supporting Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. We as Americans are facing an extremely unique set of problems in our path right now, and we have a president in office who isn't fighting for working families, but only for his own interests. In the midst of a once-in-a-century health pandemic, he is threatening to take away the Affordable Health Care Act with no sustainable replacement. In the midst of an economic downturn, he brags about his own wealth and relies on the elites and corporations to fix our problems. When we rise up to confront the past, present, and future of systemic racism, he tear gasses us and blames it on political conspiracy. And while the Earth is undergoing an irreversible climate change, he is tearing down environmental protection laws and refusing to look at what scientists are telling us. In office, President Trump denies these critical issues and refuses to enact plans to save our lives. His presidency is not the best we can do. Thank you for coming and spreading the word. Joe and Kamala have plans to address COVID-19, to build our economy back for everyone, and to root out systemic racism and address the urgent need for response to climate change. We can and will do better. These next 4 years will decide the future of these issues, but it starts with your vote. Make a plan to vote early and vote now. There are two types of undecided voters: those who don't know who to vote for and those who don't even know if they'll vote at all. If you or someone you know is in one of these categories, I get it. This is one of the most polarized elections in US history. It is so easy to feel lost and voiceless when everyone is getting attacked all the time. I had tons of friends in high school with opposing political views. When I started a female empowerment group at my school, I often felt my actions went unsupported and they were worthless. I didn't know if I should continue. But at the end of the day, I could always remember that for every single person that criticized my efforts, their vote would only ever count as much as mine. If you aren't planning on voting, remember who is voting right now. Our neighbors are voting. Our bosses and landlords are voting. Our insurance companies are voting, and every one of their votes affects you. Every person that wants to suppress your wages, to deny your insurance coverage, will show up to the polls. If you don't show up to the polls, they still will. Don't leave yourself out of the decisions that will most affect you. I vote because I know that my future is in my hands, not the hands of anyone who has criticized me for my beliefs. Go to iwillvote.com to find out what choices you have to vote. Vote for our country, for our planet, for your community. Vote for those who cannot vote, and vote for yourself. It is my great pleasure to introduce Nancy Milan, a candidate for Hillsborough tax collector and an excellent example of change in action. Nancy Milan has worked for 31 years, in Hillsborough County and was the county's 2001 Hispanic Woman of the Year. She is senior executive at the tax office now, where she fights to provide accessible online service to county residents to make sure the office is more streamlined and customer-focused. The Tampa Bay Times calls her a consummate professional ready.
Buenas tardes. Buenas tardes, mi gente. Déjame oírlo. No te oigo. A little bit louder. I can't hear you guys. You know, we really need to make some noise here, and we need that energy to keep this going. We have lots of speakers here, but we need the energy to keep us going and keep us motivated. Our Latino vote, our vote in general, is so important, and mainly our Latino vote. That's why we're here. We must deliver for Biden and Harris. It is so important. Hillsborough County is proud of its cultural diversity, and as a community, we need to harness this same sense of pride and have our voices heard during this election. We cannot let this historic opportunity pass us by. We must get our vote out. This is the time. Es el tiempo de nuestras voces que sean escuchadas. Como latinos, ahora más que nunca, debemos apoyar a Biden y a Harris. Debemos mantenernos unidos para el bien de nuestra familia y de nuestra comunidad y de nuestra nación. We need the vote, and mainly this Hispanic vote. That is why we're here. We need to know that our voices matter. Soy Nancy Millán. I'm Nancy Milan, running for tax collector. When you're voting, go down ballot. This is just as important. Soy Latina. Soy bien orgullosa de estar aquí. I would love to be the first woman, first Hispanic in this position. Please help me make a change in our county. Thank you so much, and it is my great honor to introduce our next speaker, another Latina who is making a difference as a state rep in District 62, Ms. Susan Valdés. I'm the biggest klutz ever.
Buenas tardes, Tampa. ¿Cómo andamos? How are we today? Let me tell you something. I don't care what noise we hear out there. I don't care what we see on corners of down yonder on Del Mabry. This is Casa Biden. And because this is Casa Biden, vamos a sonar los truenos. We're gonna make it thunder. And it's gonna thunder Biden-Harris in the state of Florida. I wanna thank each and every one of you for coming out here today and supporting this event and supporting Vice President Joe Biden and Senator Kamala Harris. This is, I can tell you, as first-generation American born of Cuban immigrants, for me, this election is the most important election in my lifetime. You see, I still have family in Cuba that I can't see, that I cannot send support. Soy hija de inmigrantes cubanos, y para mí, esta elección es la más grande de mi vida. ¿Por qué? Porque yo, como tantos de ustedes, tenemos familiares todavía en Cuba. Y en estos momentos no les podemos mandar ni tan siquiera un pomo de aspirina. To this time, we can't even send a bottle of aspirin to our family members over there. That's criminal. That's criminal. That's why we need Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, because you know what? Their family values are our family values. We don't leave no families behind. The fact that we are locking up and we can't find parents for 545 little babies is criminal. That's why we need to make sure down ballot for the future of our little guys that we go blue from the top to the bottom and maintain our democratic values. Thank you for your support these past few years. Lo digo en español, dale. Por eso necesitamos que desde el principio de la boleta hasta lo más bajo en la boleta hay que votar demócrata. From head to toe. Ahora les doy un placer. It is my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce to you a lady that really needs no introduction. None. None whatsoever. She has been serving this community for a very long time, and she's done it so honorably. This woman fights for our values. This woman had an opportunity, or has an opportunity, to work side by side with Vice President Biden and Senator Kamala Harris. It is my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce to you our Congresswoman, my counterpart in the federal level, our very own Congresswoman Kathy Castor. Y pa'lante, let's do this!
Hola. Buenas tardes. Yo soy congresista Kathy Castor de Tampa. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Congresswoman Kathy Castor. I'm so proud to represent Tampa. Vote for Nancy Milan and Susan Valdés. We're having a little bit of a girl power moment here, aren't we? I love it. So people all across the Tampa Bay area are voting right now. They're taking care of each other. They're doing it in a very safe way, just like we take care of our families day in and day out across this loving community. But it's a stark situation, isn't it? The United States of America has more COVID deaths than any other developed country on the planet. So we have got to rush to the ballot box to elect Joe Biden. Joe Biden has a plan to control the coronavirus so that we can go back to work safely and our kids can attend school safely. So our small business owners can stay afloat and realize the American dream. Joe Biden has a plan, a detailed plan to control COVID, and we better get our act together ASAP. President Trump's wrong. We're not, unfortunately, turning the corner right now. I wish and pray that that were the case. We're actually seeing a spike. So we've got to come together in the true Tampa spirit, in the spirit of the Stanley Cup champions, in the spirit of the grit and determination of the Tampa Bay Rays in the World Series, and vote for Joe Biden. Go Blue Team. Joe Biden is going to make sure he has a plan to lower health care costs, make sure our coverage is improved, strengthen and protect our care. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have a plan to address the climate crisis, transition to clean energy, harness the beautiful power of the sun, and meet the moral obligation that we have to our kids and future generations. We've got to do this right away. We're running out of time. He understands as well that the key to the American dream are high-quality schools and an affordable college education. If that doesn't convince you to rush with us to West Tampa, I don't know what will. So come join with us. Come join America Ferrera and all of your favorite local candidates as we head down to the West Tampa Library to cast our vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and the Blue Team all the way down the ballot. And I am so inspired by America Ferrera's story. It is a beautiful story of the American dream. Like so many of our neighbors across the Tampa Bay area, America's parents came from another country, from Honduras, just like a lot of our neighbors come from that part of the world to be part of the beautiful paella of Tampa. Or maybe Honduras, I should say pupusa. I don't know, it's all wrapped up together, but I love it. From Honduras, we know that she is a gifted actress, producer, director, an advocate for young women, young people all across this country, all across this planet. She has worked so hard to inspire those young women to meet their potential and realize the American dream that should be available to everyone. So let's give a warm Tampa welcome to America Ferrera. Woo!
Sorry, you can blame COVID for the anticlimactic nature of that introduction. ¿Qué pasa, Casa Biden? Congresswoman Castor, thank you so much for your leadership, for representing the beautiful people of your district, for that introduction. Thank you to all the incredible speakers. And I just want to say, Jacqueline, the first-time voter, wow, like what a speech. What an incredibly beautiful, insightful, thoughtful speech. To hear you talk about how your generation is relating to this moment, how for some people it's hard to connect to a moment that is defined by such vitriol and anger and divisiveness. There's such truth in that. And we have to pay attention to that truth. And I think that's what Casa Biden is doing by bringing joy back into our civic action. To see you all here today with your signs and your children and la música and the community, this is what this is about, each other. There is joy in showing up for each other, in protecting each other. It's not just about us, it's about our neighbors, it's about people we may never know, but who we can imagine because we have even a modicum of compassion and humanity in our hearts. So thank you, Casa Biden, for bringing joy back into this civic action. And we're going to take that joy all the way to the polls when we vote Biden and Harris into the White House. We have to elect Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. We have to. There's too much at stake. The alternative is unthinkable. But the good news is that we have a choice. We get to decide. Florida gets to decide. Because there is no path to victory for Donald Trump without Florida. Florida gets to decide, Central Florida gets to decide, and Latino voters in Central Florida get to decide. That's why it is so pivotal that for the next 9 days, we vote early, and then we get every single one of our friends and family members and neighbors to the polls to vote, and to vote early for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Latinos have so many reasons to get to the polls this year. We need to protect our access to health care. We are 18% of the US population, but we are 34% of essential workers on the front lines of this pandemic serving this country. We deserve access to health care. We need education for our children. We need the economy and businesses to get back up and running. Because I don't know if you know this, I was just reminded that Latinas start new businesses at 6 times the national average. Latinas do that. So when you talk about what Latinos care about, don't just talk about immigration. Talk about the economy. Talk about business. Talk about healthcare. Talk about education, because all of that is on the line for our community. And yes, we need to elect Biden and Harris. But this election for the Latino community goes beyond any given candidate. This election for the Latino community is not about the next 4 years. It is about the next 50 years. It is about the next 100 years. Because I'll tell you what's at stake for the Latino community. For the last 4 years, we have been attacked left, right, and center. We have a president who started his campaign on the backs of Latinos, calling us unthinkable things, inciting violence and racially motivated hate crimes towards our community. He has locked children up in cages. He has attacked our community left, right, and center. And if we don't show up, we are saying that that is okay. And that is not okay. That is our job in this moment, to create consequences for those actions. This is when we create consequence for those actions. We show up at the polls, and we vote him out, and we vote Biden and Harris in. All of that to say, we've got work to do in the next 9 days. And I want to speak to my Latinas here. Where are my Latinas? There are many of you. I heard you. Latinas, We are las jefas de la casa, no? Where we go, the family goes. We are the CEOs of our families. And so we need to show up. We have power. There is power in our numbers, but our demography is not our destiny. Numbers alone will not get us to the future we want. We have power, and that is a fact. And in this moment, we cannot sit on that power. We must act on that power. We must act on that power to tell our leadership what we expect of them. We must act on that power to get leadership that represents us, that reflects us. We need to be leaders. We need to elect the amazing women who are standing up here running to represent us, who understand the needs of our community and who will fight for it. So we need to show up in that power, act on that power, and set an example to our children who are watching us. They are watching us. How are we going to stand up to the bully? How are we going to stand up in this moment? They are watching us, and it is up to us to decide what we do on our time in this moment. So let's go to the polls, let's take our joy to the polls, and let's elect Biden and Harris to the White House. And I don't know who I'm supposed to be introducing. Is that it? Do we play the music now? Where's the music? Whoa, there are a couple things to say. Wait, are you going to say them? Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. COVID. Okay.
Okay, let's get another round of applause for America. I also want to point out that Andrew Warren is here running for a re-election for the state's attorney. Where are you at, Andrew? You here? He was here. And who else? Somebody else? Senator Cruz, are you out here? There he is. And Bob Enriquez, coach, where are you at? He's already at the other event. Woo, I'm really trying to think. Okay, I also want everyone to give a big round of applause to Elio Mueller, my father who I love dearly, but the padrino of Casa Biden. It's his vision and his determination to keep our Hispanic community together. And like America said, and couldn't have said it better, bringing the joy back to our community. We need it, we want it, and it's what motivates us to get out every day and do the best that we can for our families and for our community. Okay, at the close of this event, if you are part of the caravan that is going, if you're part of the caravan that is going to West Tampa Library, please pop your trunks. Everybody gets goodies today. And for the rest of you who might not be going that but are here, if you go pop the trunks of your cars, our staff will be placing fun swag from the Biden-Harris campaign into your vehicles. So